Good evening, I'm Pinky Webb. Tonight we ask the questions, we tackle the issues, we clarify matters, and we get on point. It's day 4 of the impeachment trial of Vice President Sara Duterte here in the Senate. Still on the agenda, the article on Duterte's alleged grave threats with NBI Regional Director Jeremy Lotoc. Taking the witness stand. With today's proceedings, how confident is the prosecution? And what's next in the trial? Let's get on point with House Prosecution Panel Spokesperson, former Congressman Robert Ace Barbers. Congressman, good to see you again. Welcome to
Thank you for having me,
the
Pinky.
show in the Senate.
Thank you again for inviting me.
Kanina po kayo dito, no? Since
Yes.
the start. And I think the hearing is still ongoing.
Yes.
Okay. There were certain manifestations made. I'll just start with that during the opening of the impeachment trial today. That si NBI Director Melvin Matibag, the prosecution wanted to have him already testify tomorrow at Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah. He was scheduled for Wednesday, but he was requesting the prosecution team to have him rescheduled for tomorrow if the impeachment court will allow him. So I think before the adjournment, there's going to be a manifestation by the prosecution panel and ask the permission from the impeachment court.
And now, it's up to the senator judges to decide whether papayagan siya, because I remember Senate President when Gatchalian was saying it might be a little unfair kasi pinag-aaralan na raw nila yung mga susunod na witnesses, tapos biglang tatalon si NBI Director into a Tuesday hearing.
Well, I hope they reconsider, no? Kasi napaka-relevant at napaka-material nung testimony ni Director Matibag, no? And I do hope that he will be allowed by the court to be present for tomorrow's hearing.
And that we still await, Congressman. Would you be able to tell us at least a glimpse of what and how strong or what kind of testimony the NBI Director will be giving us tomorrow? Because we've heard from the NBI agent Kalilong. Now we're hearing from the NBI Director in BARM, si Jeremy Lotoc, and then bukas naman po, if ever, si NBI Director Matibag.
Well, much as I want to tell you what the testimony of the Director Matibag will be, that's still a part of the strategy of the prosecution team, which I do not have access at the moment. But definitely, his presence is, him being a witness is a relevant witness and a competent witness at that. Because there are information that he can share, no? So that the impeachment court will be able to appreciate the value of all these testimonies and evidences coming from different personalities of the National Bureau of Investigation.
Why not also the former NBI Director, Jaime Santiago? After all, he was the NBI Director at that time they launched the investigation.
Yeah, I agree. No? Well, if probably there will be enough enough time, no, for us to present witnesses other than what we have presented during the pre-trial conference, then maybe personally I believe that former NBI Director would be a addition to the testimony and the weight of the evidence that we have on the side of the prosecution panel.
Nakakatatlong araw na ata tayo on the grave threats, because day 1 was really not, there was no witness. On day 1, puro procedural. Day 2, nagkaroon na po ng witness. 3, siya pa rin po. Day 2, si NBI agent Kalilong. Day 3, siya din po, kinross-examine siya.
Right,
Day 4, ito na po si Attorney Lotoc. How did the two merge their testimonies?
Well, the testimony made by the NBI Regional Director, Attorney Lotoc, strengthened, no, the initial testimony and statements made by the agent Kalilong, no? Pinakita doon yung paano yung proseso ng pag-order ng investigation, no? Dumaan sila sa process. There were protocols that they followed, and this was the order of the Attorney Lotoc to his subordinate, Agent Calilong. So, nakita natin na pinatibay nila yung ebidensya, pinatibay yung testimonya, and more importantly, ay sumunod dun sa proseso. Nung proseso ng pag-investigate at saka paglalatag ng ebidensya. Sinundan lahat.
Congressman, may question pa ho ba? Balikan ko lang yung sa authenticity nitong video na ito. Or has that been resolved? Or do we await the side of the defense on this?
Well, I believe that has been already resolved. No? Why? Because no less than the defense panel admitted that this is an authentic video because in fact they used it. No? They never denied that this video was spliced, manipulated, or minaniobra. They also never denied the statements in that video made by the Vice President. So we believe that the issue of authenticity has already been resolved by mere admission of the defense panel saying that this is the video where Attorney Zulaika Lopez was in. And this was the same video that they used as a sort of a justification. Sabi nila, justified daw yung This triggered the statements issued by the Vice President.
Yun po yung closing remarks ni Attorney Binluan noong day 3.
Yes,
Yun po yung
that's right, yeah.
basically that was the emphasis of that. Okay. So, if you're saying there's no question about the authenticity of the video for many reasons, and one because they used it during day 3 of the hearing, ginamit po nilang snippets of Attorney Zulaika Lopez. There's one thing that they denied today. They denied this so-called assassin. What do you say to that? Because pinag-uusapan din ito on many grounds. Number 1, meron ba talagang assassin? Number 2, sino ba talaga yung assassin? 3, lalabas ba yung assassin? But number 4, the defense was saying today they're denying that assassin. I heard that. I'm not sure if you heard it as well, sir.
Well, number 1, the issue here is the threats issued by the Vice President. No? Hindi issue yung kung sino yung kinausap niya, ano yung kontrata nila, etc. But this was an addition to the alleged violation that was committed, which is the grave threats. No, iba kasi yung elements of proving grave threats in a criminal case, wherein kailangan mo ilatag yung mga elements of the crime, di ba? Sino yung kinausap, ano yung usapan, etc., etc. This is an impeachment case, which is different from a criminal case, no? Ang kailangan mo lang dito, patunayan na sinabi ba niya yan, statements na yan. At kapag sinabi niya yung pagbabanta na papatayin ko, is she still fit not to be the Vice President? Or does that action or statement issued by the Vice President make her still fit to be in her office or hindi na? So yun. And if the sentiment says that she's no longer fit because she has committed culpable violation of the Constitution and betrayal of public trust, then therefore this is an impeachable offense.
Are you saying that at some point, sir, a doctor, a psychologist or psychiatrist may have to take the stand to determine whether the Vice President is fit to sit as the Vice President because of these alleged threats?
To me, personally, I don't think that is necessary at this point. We have already proven the fact that the statement was made. The statement was patayin, kung patayin ako. No? Third, it was a clear violation and a betrayal of public trust. No, na binigay na tiwala sa pangalawang Pangulo at dahil doon, mabigat na ebidensya itong pinakita at nilatag ng prosecution.
Napag-usapan din, Congressman, dito yung freedom of speech or freedom of expression. We're going to talk about that. After the break, we'll continue our discussion with House Prosecution Spokesperson Ace Barbers when we return. Stay tuned. This is On Point. Welcome back. Still with us, House Prosecution Spokesperson Congressman Ace Barbers. Let's continue that conversation we had during the break. We were talking about Operation Romanov. What were you saying about that, sir?
Well, nabanggit kasi yung Oplan Romanov, no? And apparently, this Oplan Romanov was the basis on why the Vice President issued a statement, no, na nagbabanta, no? So, tiningnan ito ng NBI. They wanted to investigate. They invited the Vice President twice. She never appeared. She said she's busy. The NBI also invited yung blogger, no, yung kung pwede, just to shed light on the Oplan Romanov kasi it came from them eh. But wala namang cooperation and coordination they did to the NBI. So,
Do you believe there's Operation Romanov?
well, absent the substantial facts, no, on that particular plan, I will not say may katotohanan yan.
Let's talk about what we left off before the break, yung pong pinag-uusapan natin kanina, yung freedom of expression. Natanong po yun. When can it still be considered freedom of expression? And when is it, of course, many people will say freedom of expression is not absolute. Freedom of speech is not also absolute. Tinanong po yan kay Attorney Lotoc kanina. So, ito ho ba ay parte pa, ang tinanong ata sa kanya, parte pa ng freedom of expression o hindi?
Yes, tinanong kanina, no, kung ito ba'y, you're correct, no, when you said that yung freedom of expression is not absolute, no. Hindi naman pwede na kapag nagbanta ka, because may rason and it can be justified. Example lang, halimbawa, you're inside a cinema watching a movie, somebody shouts, oh, may sunog. Yung pala, nagpaprank lang siya. And everybody started running, and in the course of running away from the cinema, nagkaroon ng injury, nagka-stampede, etc., etc. Now, who will now be liable to that? Diba? So, just one analogy, that we can use, that yung freedom of expression is not absolute. So, in this case, yung sasabihin mong papatayin kita, I don't think that's a acceptable expression of someone.
Actually, dito sa notes ko, Congressman, yung sinabi po ni Attorney, ni Regional Director kanina, nung tinanong siya sa freedom of expression, actually yung analogy pa nga niya, how can that be? Pwede bang sasabihin papatayin ng senador, o papatayin ng congressman, o papatayin ng isang justice, that'll cause anarchy. He said, if you allow this as speech, if you normalize it, then parang magkakagulo. Yun ang parang kanyang naging buod doon sa sagot doon. But then we also we backtrack on what Attorney Vinluan was saying, that much of it, as we discussed a while ago, there was also allegedly Operation Romanov to kill the president, the vice president rather, and her family. So idadagdag pa siguro doon yung nangyari sa kanyang chief of staff na si Attorney Zulaika Lopez, who, do you think though, this is what I wanted to actually find out, did the House make a mistake at that time? Nandun pa ata ho kayo nun, di ba? You were a congressman.
I was part of the committee. I was there when the decisions of the committee were voted on by the members. So, I don't think it's correct to say na nagkamali yung committee. Kasi there were actions that were made, and the actions called for a decision from the committee to cite her in contempt. That's why she was cited in contempt. Kaya dun siya napunta dun, dun siya na-detain. And that alone is not a decision of the chairman or maybe 2 or 3 of the members of the committee. It was a decision, a collegial decision of the Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability.
Initiated by who, sir?
Well, there were questions being asked, And under our rules, if you violate certain, if the demeanor of the resource speaker or resource invited guests, violates the rules of the House, then we can cite them in contempt.
Yeah, we've seen that, of course, even in the Senate many times. What I'm trying to get to is this, sir. When you cited her in contempt and she was detained in the house, and then I think the word she used was in the middle of the night or in the dead of the night, she was going to be transferred to the Mandaluyong Correctional. What was the need to do that? I mean, is there to her statement that bakit gagawin yun in the dead of the night? Bakit nga?
Well, because the decision came when when the committee was not hearing. It was during the time that I think it was a Friday or a Thursday. There was no session. There was no committee hearing at that time. So decisions decisions like that are usually made during the time, via what they call this, a consultation from all its members. And when the members decide that they agree on that proposal to transfer, then the order must take effect. And at that time, the Office of the Sergeant at Arms was given that order by the committee to inform si Miss Zulaika Lopez that there was a motion, it was an approved motion, it was a decision of the committee to have her transferred to another detention facility. So yun ang reason doon, no?
Well, of course, the Congress is given the power to do that, to decide whether to cite in contempt and to move, no? Like even in the Senate, meron pong dinala sa Pasay City Police, etc. Looking back is my question. While you have the power, was it right that you guys did that?
Well, that particular time when they decided, the majority of the members decided to transfer her, perhaps there was a situation that made them decide that there is a need, no, to transfer her to another detention facility.
Would you be able to share with us the need, the justification for that?
I have honestly, I have no idea as to what the justification is, but I believe, that there are several reasons. One of which is that the detention facility is not perhaps prepared. Siguro sira yung aircon o walang magandang or maybe I really don't know. Honestly, I'm just making a wild guess.
Of course, I'm asking that because of the statements rather Attorney Zulaika Lopez has made. In one way or another, she felt harassed. She felt she was being persecuted. Tapos ililipat siya in the dead of the night. And because the reason for that is eventually, of course, dun na nag-umpisa at dun na nagpatuloy yung press conference naman ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Now, tomorrow, is it going to be Attorney Zulaika Lopez taking the stand as a hostile witness for the prosecution?
She's scheduled, actually. No? She's scheduled. We subpoenaed, the prosecution panel subpoenaed Attorney Zulaika Lopez as our hostile witness, and she's scheduled tomorrow. However, there's a request made earlier by the prosecution team, prosecution panel, if the impeachment court would allow that tomorrow will be the time to be devoted for the testimony of Attorney Melvin Matibag. So if the court will allow that, then it will be Attorney Matibag. If not, then we continue with the scheduled testimony of the witnesses. Like
Congressman Ace, meron ho bang karapatan si Attorney Zulaika Lopez to decline?
No.
To not show up?
No.
To defy the subpoena? And number two, sir, na-approve na ho ba yung subpoena?
I believe na-approve yung subpoena kay Attorney Lopez,
Okay.
no? And she cannot not attend, no? Merong compulsory powers kasi yung korte. And in one of that is to compel, a witness to attend. So there's no reason unless, the court will allow you not to attend. Example, merong valid reason, or merong the schedule was abrupt, that the witness is not able to prepare.
What happens if, sorry to cut you, sir. What happens if a witness does not appear? Ganun din ho ba mangyayari like we saw before na siya ba'y makukulong din? Because I'm trying to recall in other impeachment trials if there have been witnesses that were someone that refused to show up.
As far as I can recall, no, walang witness na hindi nag-attend before, no. But there were witnesses that were admonished by the members of the court, no. Let's say, for instance, si Senator Miriam, no, pinagalitan niya yung private prosecutor ng prosecution, no. I think it was the former Justice Secretary. So, pag hindi ka nag-attend, then the court may decide to cite you in contempt. So, that's the same, ano.
So parang pwede rin yung kulong. Yun din ang mga posibilidad. I haven't really looked into what are the possibilities.
Yeah, kasi compulsory power ng korte yun eh. And you have to honor that and respect that. And if you don't respect that, may kapalit din na na parusa. And the parusa would be probably a detention.
Why call Attorney Zulaika Lopez, sir?
Well, siguro the prosecution deemed it relevant for the testimony of Attorney Lopez because she was there while the utterances made by the Vice President were made, no? Kasi nakita niya, nagmumura, nagagalit, and she was there. Perhaps, if I'm not mistaken, magkatabi sila, no? Maybe to confirm that yes, I was present, narinig ko lahat yan, at probably, di ba? To establish the, but kaya nga ngayon, parang hindi na nga, parang sa akin, personally, I don't think it's necessary anymore kasi nga na-establish na yung authenticity nung video.
Meron pong portion doon na tinanong si, excuse me, si Attorney Lotoc about the threat. And he used 3 words. He said, serious, actual, serious, real, and actual threats. When asked about I guess how to describe these threats, is that already conclusive for you, for the prosecution team to use serious, real, and actual?
Just watching, no? If I'm, ito yung elements na napakita na kaya sila nag-recommend ng filing of cases, no? Because they saw all these elements present in that particular situation, which makes it kumbaga parang correct for them, being an investigating body, to file and recommend the filing of charges. Kasi nga nakita nila present yung mga elements eh. So I guess para sa akin importante na naintindihan, no, ng ating mga mamamayan kung ito ba ay dahilan para i-persecute yung ating respondent or meron bang basihan. So far, what the prosecution panel has proven is that there are enough basis, because the video is correct, authentic, the utterances were correct, never manipulated, never AI, never spliced, whatever. So these are evidences that have given weight, no, to the article of impeachment number 4.
Yeah.
So yun lang ang mabigat doon.
Do you think, I believe there are still, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 7 witnesses for the grave threats. Again, sir, I might need to be corrected on that. Do you feel there is a need to pahabain pa ho ito? Kasi when you look at it, 1 witness a day, si witness number 1, si NBI agent Calilong, nakadalawang araw po siya. Now they're finishing with Attorney Lotoc, no? So it'll look like it's 1 witness per day. Or do you think at some point in the near future it's time to end this article on grave threats, this accusation rather on grave threats?
Well, if the evidence and the witnesses' testimony is found to be sufficient already to prove that there was grave threats, culpable violation of the Constitution, and betrayal of public trust committed by the respondent, then perhaps the prosecution team would say, I rest my case. Hindi na nating ituloy-tuloy yan kasi mabigat na itong napakita namin.
And also just to siguro clear up, dun sa 4 articles of impeachment, pag magbotohan po, only 1 article na pagbotohan ng, let's say, 16 right now, sir, That will be enough to convict the Vice President? Yeah, kahit isa lang po, no?
Isa lang ang maging convicted or guilty doon sa 4 articles na yun, that would be enough.
Now, just quickly before...
Remember, the penalty, by the way, sorry to cut you, is yung removal from office at saka perpetual disqualification. Yun lang naman ang ano.
Tanggal ka at saka never ka na pwedeng tumakbo ulit.
Even barangay kagawad, di ka na pwede.
Last question, sir. Yung number, yung 16 threshold for conviction, are you expecting anyone or can you, as a congressman, actually file a petition before the Supreme Court questioning this, or would you be not allowed because you're an interested party? I'm not sure, sir.
Well, okay. This has now become a so-called justiciable issue because I think the statements made by the presiding officer, the question raised by one of the senator judges, Senator Ping Lacson, anyone can go up to the Supreme Court and raise this issue.
Kahit kayo po ay prosecution spokesperson, pwede ba yun?
Well, any public taxpayer pwede. Ako pwede rin ako. But of course, we'll leave that up to those who are more interested to get the decision of the court on this particular issue. To us kasi, ako personally, I believe it's not yet ripe, no? Meron silang binabanggit na doctrine of ripeness eh. And when this happens, that's the only time you can raise it before the Supreme Court.
I actually spoke to Justice Ascuna about it and he said it is right now because nagkaroon na po ng decision si presiding officer. Kaya pwede na daw questionin. It's just, I was just wondering about it because if anyone, because you, someone like you, and of course the prosecution team, would want a conviction. And that conviction depends on the numbers. And the numbers should be questioned as soon as possible so that gives the Supreme Court time to look into this. That was just my train of thought,
I think
sir.
so, yeah. I think, now that it does become already a interesting subject matter for the courts, then maybe they can already come up with a decision.
Congressman Ace Barbers, spokesperson for the prosecution. Sir, pleasure to have you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me again.
Thank you.
Anytime.
That's On Point. Join us again tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. here on BNC, the Billionario News Channel. I'm Pinky Webb. Thank you for watching.